Hey everybody, welcome to EduMatch. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're here today. We're going to be talking about National CTE Month. Super excited. Huge shout out to our moderator for tonight. We have Maggie moderating. And before we get to Maggie, then we're going to start things off with some brief intros. So we're going to kick things off with intros, starting first with Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Mann. I am coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona, which is rainy today, believe it or not. And I'm the Director of Professional Development for WestMech, which is a CTE district here in Arizona. And I also have a company called Teach Like TED, where I teach presentation literacy, but also look at forecasted changes in the world around us and what that means for education and how we can better equip students for their future.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to see you, and welcome to Tweet and Talk. So returning panelist to Tweet and Talk, we have here the awesome Kim Lane. Kim, please introduce yourself whenever you get a chance.
Hi, everybody. I am Kimberly Lane Clark. I am originally in the Dallas area, but I'm right here now in TCEA in San Antonio. And I am the Director of Blended Learning in a school district right outside of Dallas, Texas.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Great to see you again. So thank you for being here. And last but not least, we're going to kick it over to our amazing moderator, Maggie. So if you could please introduce yourself and then just go ahead and get us rolling.
Awesome. Thank you for having us. We are excited to talk about CTE Month. I already got a problem. Okay. I am a career and tech ed medical teacher. I'm on our Nevada Association of Career and Technical Education board, and I wanted to make sure we get some more exposure to our teachers in our organization. So thanks for having us. The first question I wanted to ask our panelists is, one of the questions I often get is, I'll hear people say, why aren't we doing vocational education? And we need to get back to that. And my first response, and I have to be careful how I say it, my first response is always, have you heard of CTE? And I'm wondering how our panelists answer that question and how they would explain it to somebody like that.
All right, I'll jump in on that one. It's always interesting to hear that, because sometimes it's even people within our education community who say that we need vocational ed back. And it makes me realize that we're not doing a good job making what's happening in our content areas visible, so that people see that not only do we have what they refer to as vocational ed, but we have all these amazing programs. So I always refer to it as, it's interesting that you say that. We now have career and technical education, which I like to think of as vocational ed on steroids. And then I go into an explanation of all the amazing programs we have, anything from biomedical, forensics, we have cybersecurity, all these fantastic programs that people have no idea, and they're always shocked and ask, wait, they offer that in high school? And I'm like, yes, can you believe that? And I just get them really pumped up and excited about it.
Yes, I agree with you. I think actual vocational classes have basically just exploded into, like you were saying, like forensic science. I see tons of what students are doing in those CTE classes, and they're actually getting real certifications that they can use into the classroom. Currently, our district is doing a huge push with certifications, and students are able to get customer service certifications, and we partner with Southwest, where they actually can go right in and get a job with a big airline company, which is what we want our students to do, graduate with more than a diploma. So it's most definitely here. I think we've changed the name from vocational, and it's really just expanded into something even better and greater.
I agree. I think it's almost been through a rebranding. So we're using a different name, but it's still happening, and we've updated a little bit to more current careers. So even though we still have wood shop, we now have manufacturing programs too. So it's just growing. And so it's not that it left, it's that we've expanded, I think, and just trying to get that information out and share it for people. I'll move on to my next question. What are the benefits of career and technical education?
All right. So, when I think of what's happening in CTE, I automatically think of making. Basically, we have a maker space within all of our programs. So, maker space is such a hot topic, and when people realize what they're able to innovate and what they're able to create, that's huge. So I think just making these connections to what's happening in academics and saying, hey, all that cool math and science you're learning, let's bring it here to this area where we can actually apply it. I was in some classrooms last week where we had in our vet assisting programs, the students were doing urinalysis. In our construction program, they were doing all kinds of math skills related to, they were creating a mobile medical facility, like medicine, what do you call it? Like basically a traveling medical facility that is going to help the homeless. So the doctor had asked them to create this. I mean, what cool application for them to see, oh, this is why I need to know math. So I think that that's one of the many benefits.
Yes, and then the certifications also. I think that's a huge plus. I kind of touched on it earlier, but I think the certifications are what students can graduate with. Besides their diploma, they have their certifications that they can take too. And they're also experiencing real world connections, just like you were just referring to the mobile health center. I mean, for students to be able to do this while in high school is just phenomenal.
I agree. I love that we're pushing the certifications. I just watched in our culinary program at my school, 26 students got the Serve Safe. It's a national certification. And so that puts a bump up on their resume if they want to go out and get a job. So I think we're preparing the kids that way. In Nevada, they not only have their core course of study, but they also have to pass a state exam with employability skills. And I know many states are doing the same. So again, we're trying to give them that piece of paper to move on into a job. All right, question number 3, or I'm on 4. Question number 4, how can someone get involved in career and technical education?
All right. Well, I want to point out a little side note. Meg on YouTube Live is mentioned that it better prepares students for the workforce, and that's so true. They're ready to go. But as far as getting them involved so that they know about it, it starts with our counselors. Our counselors are so critical to what we're doing. When they know and get our programs, they are a powerhouse for placing those kids in the right program. And I'm just so thankful for the counselors and all the work that they do. But we also have some really good websites that you can go to learn more about the programs. I would always advise someone to start with their area, find out what's happening in the schools. We have what's called CTEDs in Arizona, which stands for Career and Technical Education Districts, that have central programs as well as the programs that are supported within the schools, the satellite programs. So finding out what's available to you locally and checking out those sites first, I think that's always a plus. There's also some good national resources.
Also, in Texas, we start out, well, in our district, we start out in around the 7th and 8th grade, where students are picking their endorsements. And so those endorsements actually take them into that pathway. Kind of what you were referring to in regards to what pathway they're going to go throughout the CTE route, if they're going to actually graduate with a certification, or once they graduate, they're able to take those courses once they get into college as well. So starting out kind of in middle school and taking those, I think a lot of times students don't take those career assessments. And we've all remember taking those in school, but taking those seriously to knowing what pathway you want to get into when you get to high school as well. But the counselors are a super important piece in getting those students into CTE, because they're the ones that are able to guide them on what they need to do.
I Excellent. Thank you for sharing. And one of the points I wanted to make was that with career and technical education, we really can reach out to anyone. So there are businesses that could get involved. A lot of people, I think, go into career and technical education as a second career. So maybe if you're looking, not sure what's next for you, you could check your, education, Department of Education in your state and see if they do offer pathways where you might fit. Because I think we're always looking for in our CTE programs to reach out to people that have experience to come in, whether it's come talk to our class or apply for one of these teaching licenses. So there's room for everybody to get involved. So just kind of be watching out for that as we continue to educate our communities. Question 5, where can you get more information about career and technical education?
Your local counselors, your local counselors most definitely, but your teachers have information that can guide you along those ways. I've noticed that the more that the teacher is knowledgeable about those areas, they can kind of guide the students as well. But I think the counselor starts first.
And yeah, the counselors are key, but I think that also word of mouth, talk to someone who's in those programs, try to find someone that you can connect with and really find out about all the stuff that's happening. There have been so many times when I've asked a kid, how did you find out about this program or how did you get interested? And they'll say, oh, well, a friend was taking the class. So I thought I would, I wanted to hang out with my friend. So I took the class and then fell in love with the class. And although that sounds as if it's not very deliberate, I think back to my own path, and I had started out majoring at wanting to be an art teacher. They dropped the program, looked into being a missionary, all these things. And then one of my girlfriends was going into FACS Ed and was doing interior design and fashion design. I'm like, that is so awesome. Plus I wanted to hang out with my friend. So, that piece really is a connector. And then following some of the great hashtags that are on social media, Career Tech Ed, CTE Works, I am CTE. That's another great way to find out things that are happening in other areas as well.
Excellent. Yes, I think educating those counselors so they can help direct the kids. And definitely we have some online resources with Association of Career and Technical Education. If you go to the ACTE website, and we have state associations that you can review and find out what's going on. Are there any upcoming professional development opportunities that you know of where people could get more involved in career and technical education? Rachel, I'm going to shoot that to you. Yes. Can you tell us about professional development opportunities?
Yes, well, I'm just going to make a shameless plug for WestMech, along with some other boards that I'm on. At WestMech, we have something called pdcircle.org, and the courses are phenomenal. And not only do they help CTE teachers and leaders become better in their practices, but anyone from K-12 counselors, anyone could come and really benefit from them. So we had advanced methods in CTE a couple of weeks ago. February 27th, I'm doing a full day presentation on turning ideas worth spreading into talks and presentations, where you learn how to really hone in and develop your voice and create a presentation. For a 6-hour training, it's only $25. So you can't beat that. I think sometimes people are actually suspicious, like, wait a second, $25, that's not even real. But also NCLA has a conference every September called Best Practices, where people across the nation come together to share their best practices. And that's in combination with ACTE, with the Association for Career and Technical Education. And then ACTE also has phenomenal events at the national level, their Vision Conference, we have National Policy Seminar coming up, but then also the region conferences, which are wonderful.
I'm hoping I will run into Rachel at our Region 5 conference, which is coming up pretty soon. I think in April 10th. So hopefully we'll see you there. And Kim, do you have any professional organizations you belong to or anything else where you get professional development?
Yes, of course. So ISTE actually runs several courses throughout the year on professional development, and the topics, range from computer science to the teacher network to coaching to digital equity. So those webinars, I basically get all of my PD from them because you can go back and listen to the recording. They also have something called ECU now, where you're actually able to take those courses online. And they were just offering one for free, which is artificial intelligence. And I've actually still enrolled in that course. And that one actually it's a phenomenal course. It's super engaging. And sometimes people kind of frown upon, online courses because they can be, just, hey, discussion board, answer the discussion, write a paper, things like that. But it's totally changed in the way that they introduce the actual PD. So those are my go-to ones. And of course, Twitter, just search the hashtag. I would just literally just search career in tech education or CTE, and you're able to just have a PD in your PJs. But ISTE is my go-to one.
Awesome. I think that's one of the things that is unique about career and technical education. Often our teachers are maintaining 2 licenses, so they're staying up in a profession as well as education. And so you will find that your CTE teachers are often very busy hitting the conferences because they have to keep up in both. So very good. Thank you, ladies. Is there anything else that you would like to add about CTE month? Anything you're looking forward to?
All right, I have to mention NASA Hunch, the competition, because they've partnered with ACTE this year. I'm really excited to judge the competitions, and I know that's an ongoing partnership that's going to be happening. So find ways to get your students involved in that. They don't have to be it doesn't have to be a space program. There's so many connections to space within other content areas. I encourage you to check that out.
Very cool. And I'm going to be trying to engage our Nevada Association members a little bit more this month, of course, online, and a few coffee shop meetups, trying to get everybody together and keep everybody talking. Kim, what are you up to this month?
Oh my goodness. Right now, I'm actually at a conference, and it is absolutely amazing. Educators all over Texas are here. And so today is the day that it actually starts, and I have like 5 presentations that I'm doing right now. And I just have tons of PDs on the weekend, helping teachers integrate computer science, Google CS first into their classroom. So I'm just doing that on the weekends, and of course, I'm preparing our teachers in blended learning in our district as well. So tons of things coming up.
Very good. Thank you, Kim and Rachel. And Sarah, thank you for the opportunity for us to talk about career and technical education.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all so much. This was great. This was a great conversation. I learned a lot. So just wanted to give a huge shout out to Kim and to Rachel and to Maggie for your awesome wisdom and insight into the topic. And thank you to everybody who was watching with us. Want to give a shout out to Megs, who was watching on YouTube Live. And there were a lot of great people on Twitter as well, such as Heather and Valerie, and let me see, I'm scrolling down, Kylie and Josh, and just so many people. And I'm sorry if I left anyone out, but great insight. And really excited to put this out on Facebook as well as on the podcast. So that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks. Want to give a huge shout out really quickly to Brent Coley. His book, Stories of Edu Influence, is up for pre-order on Amazon. So definitely kudos to you. And kudos also to Mary Alice Curran. She'll be down there with you, Kim, at TCEA. Yeah. So she's launching, she and Curran are launching Dig Sit Kids on Tuesday, I believe, the 6th. So that's going to be awesome. So shout out to her for that. So our next episode is going to be on Wednesday, Wednesday the 6th, 7 p.m. We're going to have Noah Daniel, and she is just amazing. So come in, check us out for that. Different bat time. So Wednesday at 7 p.m. Same bat channel though. Podcast with an s.edumatch.org/tweet talk. And finally, next Sunday, we're going to have a tweet and talk that everyone can sign up for about innovation in education. So that's going down at the regular time. So if you want to be on panel for that, podcastwithnest.edumatch.org/sign up. So if you like this, please subscribe. Please give us a rating, any comments or anything like that. And really looking forward to seeing you all again. So thank you. And everyone have a great one.